In 2022, I pay regular guy from Seattle named Alex. I finally decided to buy my first apartment. Not a 30th-year mortgage nightmare, but a decent one-bedroom in an old building with good renovation. On a real estate site, I found a listing that screamed deal of the century. Portland, Oregon, Pearl District, 4th floor, 410 square feet. Price 30% below market. The seller was a realtor in her 60s, very polite, but she seemed strangely eager to close the deal quickly. The apartment has been empty since 1983, she told me. The heirs don't want to move in, that's why the discount. I asked why it had stayed empty for so long. She just shrugged. Old family story. The grandmother passed away, the kids moved away. Nobody wanted it. I believed her. During the viewing, everything looked clean and dry, no mold smell at all. Only one weird thing. Every single wall, even the ceiling, was painted the exact same pale sky blue color, as if someone had tried to cover something up. 2 weeks later, I moved in. The first night was fine, but on the second night I woke up at 4 a.m. to a woman softly singing a lullaby in the hallway. An old, trembling voice. I turned on the light, silence. I told myself it was just my imagination. On the third night the voice was louder. Now I could clearly hear the words. Hush little baby, don't say a word, mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. I walked into the hallway with my phone recording. Nobody there. But when I returned to the bedroom, a little boy about 5 years old was sitting on my bed. He was wearing old blue polka dot pajamas and smiling straight at me. I froze. He looked up and said in a child's voice, "Uncle, did you come to take me home?" I dropped my phone. When I picked it up, the boy was gone. From that moment, everything changed. Every single night at exactly 3:47 a.m., strange things started happening in the apartment. The faucet in the bathroom would turn on by itself and run for exactly 47 seconds. The kitchen drawer with the silverware would slide open even though I always closed it. And worst of all, the children's drawings slowly appeared on the pale blue walls. Flowers, suns, stick figure families, they looked like watercolor paintings fading in. Every morning I photographed them, and by evening they would disappear again under the paint. I started digging into the apartment's history. It turned out that in 1983 a woman named Claudia Peterson lived here. She was born in 1941. She had a son, little Ethan, born in 1978. At the age of 5, Ethan was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. Doctors gave him 6 months at most. Claudia refused to accept it. She sold everything she owned, took Ethan to every healer, herbalist, and even drove him to a monastery in California. Nothing helped. Ethan died right here in this apartment on September the 12th of 1983 at 3:47 a.m. After her son's death, Claudia lost her mind. She painted the entire apartment sky blue as so Ethan would feel like he was in heaven. Every day she talked to him, fed him imaginary meals, and sang lullabies. Neighbors called the police many times, but she wouldn't let anyone in. A year later she was taken to a psychiatric hospital, where she died in 1999. The apartment was sealed. Distant relatives tried to sell it, but every new owner fled within 1 to 3 months. Some started drinking, some heard voices, and a few simply disappeared without a trace. I was the 14th owner in 40 years. On the 12th night I didn't even try to sleep. I sat in the living room with all the lights on and waited. At 3:47 a.m., the boy appeared again. This time he was standing by the window, staring outside. "Ethan," I whispered. He turned around. His eyes didn't look like a child's anymore, they were sad and strangely old. "Mom said if I was good, someone would come and take me to her," he said softly. "But you're not Mom. You're a stranger." I didn't know what to say. I just asked, "What do you want, Ethan?" The boy walked closer. He smelled faintly of warm milk and old wallpaper. "It hurts inside. It always hurts." I just wanted to stop hurting. A chill ran down my spine. I suddenly understood. This wasn't a classic ghost. It was pure, trapped, endless child's pain that couldn't leave with the body. I did the only thing that felt right. I took out my phone, searched online, and found an old archived interview from the 1990s that actually had Claudia's voice singing the lullaby. I played it at full volume. Ethan froze. Then he slowly sat down on the floor and hugged his knees. I sat down beside him. Yes, I sat on the floor next to a ghost and said gently, "Ethan, your mom loved you more than anything. She believed until her last day that you would get better. But now you don't have to hurt anymore. You're not little anymore. You're already 47 years old. Can you imagine? It's okay to go now. Your mom is waiting for you in a place where nothing hurts." He looked at me for a long time. Then he smiled, the real, bright child smile for the first time. "Really? I can go? Really?" At that exact moment, every blue wall in the apartment burst into color at once, a bright, joyful drawings. Suns, sailboats, airplanes, a mother and son holding hands. And then everything simply faded away, like someone turned off a projector. The apartment has been quiet ever since. Sometimes I still wake up at 3:47 a.m. But now it's not because of the lullaby. It's because of the silence as so deep it rings in my ears. I still live here. I never repainted the walls. Let them stay sky blue. As a reminder, there's always a little 1980s toy car on the windowsill. I found it behind the radiator during renovation. Sometimes it moves a couple of inches by itself. I just smile and whisper into the empty room, "Good night, Ethan." And somewhere far away, I'm sure I hear a quiet child's voice answer, "Good night, Uncle." The end.